Good evening, everyone. If you don't know, you should know. My name is Rameez and I am a filmmaker and a film critic. And as I said before, I will be reviewing anything and everything I watch and rewatch. So I've had a ton of time and I decided to rewatch season 1 of The Sopranos. I intend on rewatching it all over again, seasons 1 through 6. So I decided to tell you what I thought of season 1. And let's start with kicking off with this fucking awesome theme song by Alabama 3. I woke up this morning. Take it, Alabama 3. Boy, do HBO know a thing or two about picking opening theme songs. This theme song is another one of those which is ingrained in your memory. Whenever this song plays, the only thing I can remember is Tony Soprano driving from New York to New Jersey. It's friggin' awesome. This show is created by David Chase and it centers around Tony Soprano, who is our main character. Tony Soprano is reaching a very interesting age. I believe he's in his mid-40s and he faints in the very beginning of the season, so he decides to see a shrink played by the lovely Lorraine Bracco. Lorraine Bracco plays his psychologist. It's like watching Goodfellas weekly, or in today's age, binge watching Goodfellas, which I've done multiple times. I've seen Goodfellas way too many times, but if you're tired of seeing Goodfellas, I don't know why anyone would get tired of seeing Goodfellas, you can watch The Sopranos. The Sopranos is friggin' awesome as well. And if you think I'm joking, and if you think this isn't like Goodfellas, you're wrong. 27 people from the movie Goodfellas are in this show from seasons 1 through 6. And Spider from Goodfellas is a main character in this friggin' show. And of course, Lorraine Bracco, who was Henry Hill's wife in Goodfellas, is a leading lady of this show as well. She plays the psychologist, as I said earlier. The show, at least the first season, is structured around Tony Soprano seeing his psychiatrist, and it balances out with his other life, his mobster life. And it's awesome because James Gandolfini makes this work. Gandolfini is magnificent here. It's truly a fantastic role he plays over here. It's so real when James Gandolfini says something. You believe it's Soprano talking, not Gandolfini. He's truly perfect as the Italian mob boss. The scenes between Gandolfini and Lorraine Bracco are fantastic, and they elicit many emotions: fear, anger, shock, and a lot of times comedy. I saw this show at a very ripe age. Don't ask me why I was watching Sopranos in '99 when it came out. I was 8, I believe. Well, maybe that explains a lot of my swearing. Anyway, I saw this at a very young age, and the show's humor, this show is really fucking funny. But when I was 9, all that humor flew over my head. One of my favorite subplots from The Sopranos season 1 is when Tony Soprano hires a friggin', an out-of-shape, roughed-up cop, and he hires him to follow Jennifer Melfi, Lorraine Bracco. And what happens is, he hires him so he can dig up some dirt on Jennifer Melfi. And he gets a bit crazy while he was drunk. He beats up Jennifer Melfi's date. Dr. Melfi, being a psychologist, somehow, for some reason, mentions this to Tony Soprano. And it's pure gold, Tony Soprano's reaction. It's a shot of him in a close-up and he's pondering to himself because he knows what's going on and he goes, "Fucking moron." See, now when I say it, it's not as funny. But when Tony Soprano says it, when James Gandolfini says it, I bursted out laughing. And there are tons more funnier moments like this in the first season. One of them revolves around Tony's uncle and oral sex. The other one revolves around suicide. Yes! I know how fucking terrible it is, but they make fun of suicide. Tony Soprano, again, when one of his daughter's friends tries to commit suicide, and he brushes it off by saying, "Oh, well, it wasn't like a Kurt Cobain cut, it was just an attention suicide cut." Again, friggin' hilarious. This show arguably kicked off, what am I saying arguably? It did kick off the golden age of television. We are still living in the golden age of television. This show was one of the first shows that introduced an anti-hero as a main character. An anti-hero is a bad person, but he happens to be the protagonist of the show. Tony Soprano introduced all of that. David Chase's The Sopranos introduced all of that. Without The Sopranos, we wouldn't have my favorite show of all time, The Shield. We wouldn't have one of the greatest shows, arguably the greatest show of all time, according to a lot of people, Breaking Bad, which also centers around an anti-hero. The Sopranos, without The Sopranos, I believe none of that would have been able to happen. So without further ado, I'm going to give The Sopranos Season 1 a 5 out of 5. This is an utter masterpiece of a show, and I cannot wait to get to Season 2. When I'm done with Season 2, you will have my review, people. Thank you very much for watching. Remember to love yourselves and hit that subscribe button, please. You have a wonderful night.